Sometimes people can just even sit on it. There's no problem with that. Welcome to African Culture and Nature with me, Adon Jackie Nyalo. Today we are going to be looking at burial in African culture. Now, burial is an act or ceremony of putting a dead body in the grave into the ground. In Africa, burial is not just a ceremony but also a ritual. There are many rituals that we do perform in Africa. In Africa, when someone dies, as a family, we hold a ceremony. Many friends, relatives, we come together and we send off our loved one. We believe that dead are not dead. We just believe they have gone to an afterlife, which is another kind of life. And because of that, we put them nearer to us. We bury them in our compound nearby. For instance, we have 2 graves in here, which is just buried in this compound. They are family members of this home. So they are buried just right here at the veranda. You can see the wall is here and there's a grave here. She was buried in 2017 and she was buried 2017. This is from 2017. She has been resting here. There's another grave just right here besides, and she was buried in 2011. Now, that is part of our culture as Africans. The other thing that we also do is shaving of the hair. Back in the days when you lose a dear one, a family member that is close, you were expected to shave your hair. That was also another form of identification. Remember, back in the days we didn't have means of communication like mobile phones like now to call and say we have lost so and so. Now, the other means of identification would be shaving off of the hair. One would shave their hair bald. It had to be bald, by the way, or bald hair. And that would be another way to show you're grieving. You'd grieve as another way of mourning and another way that someone else would identify. And that would be done on the day of burial. You do it on the very day that you put the person on the ground. That is when family members, close relatives, and it had to be blood family. Those are the ones that would shave their hair off. Now, we also mourn for our dear ones. We are expected to cry on the day of burial. Even when we lose that person, we cry so much, we mourn, we grieve. And also during the ceremony, we are not expected to speak bad. That is a respect for the dead people. You do not speak evil or bad of a dead person. Remember that dead are not dead. Now, once a grave is already here and cemented in the compound, you can do anything with it. Sometimes people can just even sit on it. There's no problem with that. There's no fear. Sometimes people even wash. If maybe you have something that you want to sun dry, you can even just come and put it there. There's no problem with that. But there are also scenarios where people are not buried at home. For instance, if someone has been struck by lightning, we don't bury that person at home. You're supposed to take that person to a swampy area and you bury them there. There have been instances where such people, when you bury them at home, by the way, this is a true story, like the lightning will again come back and strike that very grave until you take that person to a swamp area and then you bury that person from there. And then also, if someone has committed suicide, let's say on a tree, before you bring down the body, you are supposed to cane that person. That is a ritual that is done, and it is a must. That is to chase away the spirit of that dead person. Because most times when someone has committed suicide, that means they died when they were angry. They died when they are annoyed. So they believe the spirit will come back to torment the living. So you cane them, pull down the body, and then you even cut down the tree and you burn the tree. That is a ritual. That is our tradition here in Africa, and that is how we do bury people. It's what we do. Thank you so much for watching African Culture and Nature. Do subscribe to our channel, like, share and comment, and also let us know how you bury people in your country, in your culture. Thank you.